Hello. Well, you'll have to bear with me tonight for a few reasons. One, my new laptops is broke already. £500 down the window, and so I'm using an old laptop again to sort of read the comments and shit. It's also extremely warm, so the PlayStation's making more noise than ever. Sounds like a jet engine as usual, but even louder today. It sounds like a jet engine that's on fire is the best description for it. So yeah, just bear in mind. So sorry for the noise if it gets a bit noisy at points. And I'll go straight into it. A bit of custom game I think today. I'm not feeling online too much. Just sort of want to relax and play instead of going all that. So the bots sound uneasy because on hard they're just stupid. Polish, French, and we'll have all the central powers. Shutdown on, friendly fire on, friendly fire penalty on. Let's play. See what map. Well, shit, we're doing this map. I'll change the map rotation after this. I always feel like I do this map first. Well, it seems you're not in good relationship with your computers. I'm not, but I fucking can't stand them. The reason this has started late as well, I try to get it bang on for midnight and I'm 10 minutes late because this fucking thing can't connect to the internet that I'm using. I nearly threw it out the window, I was that angry. It really pissed me off actually. Getting sick of them. Just one thing after another. Clueless, you've changed your little emblem. Looks like a clone trooper with a pandemic mask on or something. Attempt to play Battlefield 3. Lucky bastard. Lucky bastard. I was saying today actually, I think Battlefield's a dead franchise pretty much now. I think the new games are shite. But I say that every stream, I tell you that every stream. I'm close, yeah boy. Right, I want to have a quick change of my settings before I get into the game. Controller settings. Sensitivity, let's turn it down to 8. ADS. I normally have it a bit higher, but I'm not playing too many FPS games at the minute. I'm not even playing many games, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll do for now. I'm going to push the right flank first as I do with this one. I very rarely plays the central powers on this map, so it's nice to change it up. It's a bad start. Clueless. Yeah, I use this on more social media, so I said, why not use this profile pic? Yeah, it's fair enough, isn't it? It's a good one. Hello, let's be honest. I don't like Battlefield because it's a popular WW1 game which puts a shadow on Verdun. I don't like it for that reason, but I don't like it, mate, because the guy who runs EA is an absolute cunt, and there's no two ways around it. The whole franchise, you know, EA, it's just a shit business and it shits on gamers. And I think if you're buying EA products, and I'm bad for it as well because I bought FIFA recently. It was £8, and I just wanted to buy it to see if it was any different from the others, and it isn't. It's shit. But what they've done to Battlefield's a disgrace, and what the developer said about people complaining about is also, you know, that's a disgrace. He called people idiots because they didn't agree with the game. He's a fucking moron. He's just a rich CEO, that's what pisses me off as well. He doesn't even develop the games, he's just a cunt. Battlefield shouldn't be going down. You know, if it was doing well at the minute, it'd probably have more players than ever. If they made it how people wanted it to be. Because there's a dire need for some decent first-person shooter games for console at the minute, because we have none. Siege is getting worse every time we go in it. I feel like the only game at the minute which I enjoy, which is first-person shooters, we're done. And even that you want to change up sometimes, you know. Again, Battlefield 4, I think the problem with me on that game is if you just buy the standard edition with no DLC maps, there's hardly any maps in the game, and even that gets boring after a while. It's nothing on the sort of likes of Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 2, you know. Clueless, EA is very anti-consumer, I agree. George Wardell, I can't read that, it's in Russian. Nikita, George Wardell, now you're always a drifter for me. Big ups, Clueless. Cheers, my stream is lagging like none other. That's a shout. Well, hopefully it's not mine, it could be my internet, mate, the way it's gone onto it. Fingers crossed it isn't. Just try refreshing the page a few times if it keeps clogging up. But yeah, fuck EA. Bunch of cunts. The thing is, they won't stop as well until people stop buying their product. They're always going to pump out shit games that nobody wants, or ruin games that we like. He's got a good kill. Taking this trench pretty easily. I think we'll get hold of it soon. They don't seem to be pushing us back too much. A few Frenchies down there. They've got the 1914 uniforms on. Some of the worst, but best looking uniforms, definitely. Talking about WW1 games, there is a good Flash game. It's called Warfare 1917. Is that on? I think I've heard of that, mate. That's quite an old game, that. When I was a kid, I used to play all the Flash games on Adcon Arcade, it was called. It's like 1,000 free Flash games or whatever the fuck, you know, something like that along them lines. And there used to be a good few sort of simulation and warfare games, and really enjoyed it. Nikita Hebel, I'm not sure if it's actually a thing, but there's such thing as a British Stoicism. Stoicism. If it is, then what does it mean? I'm not sure, Nikita. I've never heard of that. I thought you said sitcom there, but I don't know what that means. Yeah, the Drifter might know, because he's the history guy, he might know what that means. Caleb, okay. Hell Let Loose is a good first person shooter. Yeah, it looks it. I've never played it, probably won't get the chance to play it, but it does look good. Same with that, the other game that looks really similar to it. It's not Hell Let Loose, it's the other one. Postscriptum, that's another game I really want to play. You might, I mean, next generation consoles, PS5 and the Xbox, you might be able to import them games onto it, I suppose. You might be able to play Postscriptum and Hell Let Loose and things, but it depends if the devs want their game on a console platform, and if they don't, I would understand. Looks like we're pushing with tennis. My stream was lagging, but I realised it was turned off. Your Wi-Fi was turned off. That makes sense, I suppose, doesn't it? Nice kill. Let's make sure he's dead. Frenchie. Sensitivity's feeling much better like this. Caleb, I know it makes me sad. Makes me sad too as well, mate, to be honest. Out the way. Took his arm off. Drifter Dossing. Drifter Dossing. No, I don't think he is. I hope he isn't. I know him in real life, so if he somehow managed to work that out, God help us. I think we're going to win this game very easily by the looks of it. What is DOSing? It's like where you take down the internet, isn't it, and stuff. I think it is anyway. It's when you take down like a network or something like that. Or you interfere with a network or Wi-Fi system. I don't think it's the most difficult thing to do, apparently, in hacking, but I think it's one of the more common things to do. You can download DDoSing software, or DOSing software as well, I'm sure you can. I wouldn't recommend doing it, mind, but Clueless. I think one of my favourite types of shooters is one like intensely, as they aren't extremely hardcore, but they're also they aren't extremely casual. Yeah, mate, I completely agree. Which I think that's what Verdun's like. It's not too hardcore, but it's not too casual either. You've got to have a certain respect for the game, I suppose. But yeah, I completely agree with you. It's not too full on like Armour, for example. Armour's like full on simulation. Even that's what Squad can be as well. So we know, let's go for the bayonet. No, I'm fucked here, I think. I couldn't close. I agree. I'm really looking forward to Siege. See, when it comes out, I'll have loads of shit on the channel about it. I heard they've released some new gameplay, or they keep doing like sort of video things with the developers on YouTube, and I haven't watched one. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Caleb, love Armour. Yeah, man, looks a great game. It's one of them games, if you get in with the right people, the right squad, you can really do some cool shit. There's a guy I used to watch called Jester, and he always used to do the sort of milsim stuff, and he did it really well. Still does it now, I think. Does like different ops, has his own sort of squad of guys. It's pretty good to watch. I think one of the ones that Drifter always goes on about to me is War of Rights, because it's set in his favourite time period, and again that's pretty simulation-like, or very simulation-like, should I say. Clueless. Armour takes hours just to play one mission. Yeah, it does, because it's like milsim. It's putting you in the boots of what they do in real life, I suppose. It's trying to, well, yeah, simulate things as much as possible, I suppose. Which is good if you like that thing. If you have that time to spare, then it's great. But a lot of people don't have that time, and again, Armour, I think, requires a lot of learning. You can't just jump on the game and know what you're doing. There's all sorts of little intricate parts of it, Okay, I got catches by hype from release of Last of Us Part 2 and decided to play the complete Last of Us first one. Nice. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I've started watching a walkthrough of Last of Us 2, because I never played Last of Us 1, but I did watch a walkthrough and I loved it. So I'm going to watch the Rad Brad play number 2. So I'm on the first episode now, and it's pretty good so far. I've heard it's meant to be a really dark game, and a lot of people don't like it because it's dark, but I think that makes a good story, if you ask me. If it's got a lot of grittiness in it, then you know it's good. But I loved watching the first one, so hopefully the second one's pretty good as well. In fact, I'll watch them tonight after stream. Clueless, Nikita, yeah, Last of Us is very good, but 2 is meh for me. No spoilers, man. No spoilers. Caleb Hookham. This is good. War of Rights just got Artillery. Yeah, I saw that, Caleb. I did see that. I think that's pretty good. I watched a guy play it today. I forgot his name. Pixelated Apollo. And the recoil on the guns. He pointed out, actually. He said how good the recoil on the weapons were, and he was right. I mean, it is amazing. I like how you've got different team members have got different parts to do just to get it working. I think it's good because it brings team play together, and any game where you can strategize with other team members is enjoyable. If you're with the right people, that is. Last of Us 2 had horrible reviews. Yeah, mate, I saw that. I know a lot of people don't like it. It doesn't matter what IGN and all these sort of review companies say. You know what I mean? It's if the players like it. I know a lot of people don't like Last of Us 2, but again, I'm open. I'm going in with an open mind, so I'll see. Nikita, everybody got pissed off from some story moment in the game. I don't know which one though. I don't want to know. Still want to try and play it myself. Yeah. Frankie Foster, hi mate. Hope you're doing well. Clueless, on the metric, most reviews say that it's too political, but I don't really mind it. Yeah, that's it's a massive issue in gaming at the minute, where they try to politicise games, and I suppose politicising a game isn't too bad in maybe a historical game, you know, like a game that's based on World War II or something. But to like politicise a game like Fortnite, for example, where you add certain shit in or you take certain things away, is baffling to me, because you go into games to try escape it all. That's the whole point. Is to, you know, it's an escape from reality. That's why people play games a lot of the time. So I'm against politicising games, but it depends how they do it, mate. Again, I'm only part 1, so I'm not too far in yet. Oh, fuck off, barbed wire. Fuck off. Frankie, I don't get how in both Last of Us you can kill zombies by punching them. Yeah, I did notice that on the first one. On the first episode of the walkthrough. Maybe they're just soft. You don't know. We'll see. Straight down the middle, no hassle at all. I can hear the French shooting away. That's what I goes down right there. Honestly, I felt that the game will fail because of the story and an annoying LGBT theme, which is everywhere. Yeah, it is everywhere, mate. The thing is, at the end of the day, right, as well, I don't think gamers are bothered by anything. They're not bothered if a game has a male off. You know, no one's going to buy the game because it's a female main characters. You know what I mean? No one buys the game for that. It's just you buy the game because you want to enjoy the story or the gameplay. This is what pisses me off about companies. It's virtue signaling. They jump on the bandwagon because they think they get more sort of support. It's like EA keep sending you messages about Black Lives Matter, but you know they don't give a fuck, so why are they doing it? Who cares? Because in 2 weeks' time they won't give a shit about it, so why post about it now? Don't politicise games. Try avoid it, that's what I'll say. Okay, Frankie, that's why I always use a brick. Brick is OP. Frankie, well, Joel is beefy, so maybe that's why. I don't have a PS4, but the gameplay looks pretty good. What for, Clueless? Which game? The Last of Us. Because I would agree with you if it's that. As I was getting through the trench there as well, they had a big push through the sort of centre, maybe left of the centre there. It's a pretty good push by them. Try and take it back now. Oh, there's one there. Got him. Couldn't hold my breath. There we are. Don't like how they mix uniforms. I'd rather have one uniform than the other. Catch my breath quickly, I'll hold here. Quickly check the comments. Clueless. I have to admit, The Last of Us is very creepy to me, since most of the zombie-infested towns and cities they've visited, I've been to. Yeah, no, I imagine that's probably makes it worse. I think it's quite a scary thing to think about. That's why I don't like 28 days later and 28 weeks later. That's the scariest zombie movie I've ever watched, because it's set in the UK. I remember watching 28 weeks later as a kid, and then watching it now, it still fucking scares me just the same. He's dead, good job. Looks like we've got a big push coming down the centre, or left centre. Or have we? Maybe we haven't. I'm going to push right again anyway. Hold the squad there. Let's move through. Have to try not to shoot my own guys because I will lose points and friendly fire is on. I think I caught him there. There's another one. Let's have a look. I've got mortar shots as well, so I need to utilise them as best as I can. So he dropped. No, he's still there. There's his head. Although that doesn't look like a French helmet to me. That's a German. Fuck's sake. I'll read the comments in 1 sec. I just stop this advance quickly. Let me have a quick read. Hebo, speaking of OP, I found too much OP gun in Verdun. It is the Canadian Squad Ross rifle. That rifle's amazing. I like the iron sights of that rifle as well. I'm glad you brought that one up. I was using it. When was I last using it? I was using it in a stream maybe a month or two ago. But yeah, it's a great weapon. The Ross I think it's the Anzacs might have it as well, but I'm not entirely sure. Frankie, I got Verdun today and pooped my pants with a teammate. Bleed to bits by a bomb. Not much about that's why. Call it PTSD sin, yeah. You know, mate, if you got it before the update, the gore was a lot more intense as well. It's been a bit dulled down since the update, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, when I first got the game I was amazed by it. Because this is considered as an indie game, Verdun. It's not like considered as a AAA or anything. So you get kind of surprised when shit like that happens. Don't reload now. Got him. Drifter, I'm back. Return of the King. Fantastic. Welcome to the front line, son. Insert coding music here for the Drifter. The Drifter, the well-respected Drifter. Oh, come on. That was a good kill. Very lucky to get him. Gonna hold here for a sec. It's a very awesome game. Well, I'm glad you like it. It's good to have new people come on and enjoy it, because with Verdun it's like a 50-50 game when you get it. Some people love it, some people hate it. And I can understand why people dislike it. You've got to know what you're getting into, I think, before you buy it. And I think it's cheap, so it's not too much of a loss if you don't, I suppose. The Drifter, this account is a counter to Hebo Live. His tyranny is over. Fuck off. Clueless. This is Hebo Heresy. I am a heretic. Oh, it's Drifter the heretic. Drifter, get Verdun back and come and join me. That's what you need to do. But yeah, it's good that you enjoy it, Frankie. Definitely. I think since the update, more people have gone on the game though and stuck with it, which is important. Some bad shooting by me there, very bad shooting. Let's get the guys down here. I did tell you what, there's a complaint someone gave to me the other day, which I think is an interesting complaint, and it's to do with the AI. So since the update, the AI are a bit more sort of spasmoided, and in some ways I agree with them, but in some ways I don't, because beforehand, if you were using an MG when you were like defending against AI, they'd pick you off straight away, or they wouldn't run at you, and then if you're in squad defence, your game would last forever because you'd have an AI somewhere just standing and waiting for you to kill him. And he'd be in the middle of the trench, so you couldn't, or in the middle of no man's land, so you couldn't actually chase him to get him. So at least they run at you now, but they run at you in sort of a weird way, sort of zigzag, but at robotic speeds. So sometimes it's really difficult. Frankie Foster, while you Brits were sitting in the trenches and drinking tea with the French soldiers, we Russians were wrecking Austro-Hungarian forces to pieces. Mr. Brightside, George Waddell, the Drifter, here we go. I'm close. And the Americans had their thumbs up their arse. Frankie Foster, legs, arms are blew off, and it's cool how you hear troops crying in pain after you shot. Yeah, it's a pretty brutal game. It's gritty. It's the grittiness which I think makes it unique. It's why it's better than, you know, shite like what's it called, that fucking Battlefield 1. We have to shoot someone a million times with a fucking MP5 or whatever the fuck they use in that game now. They've probably got MP5s in Battlefield 1. There's no historical accuracy in that game whatsoever. I really hope that franchise gets good again, I really do. I think everyone does, but the way that EA are going, it's like they're shitting on their own fan base on purpose. That was a nice kill, someone else shot him. Nice, let's hold this ground here. Nikita, Mr. Friday, show out last. Nikita, the Drifter, no, you follow my leads to destroy Hebo's tyranny. I was a revolutionary before you were born. You do worry me, Nikita, you do. Pro Gaming Lizard, hello, hi mate, hope you're doing well. The Drifter, you're mentally stable, Clueless and Frankie. Hello Pro Gaming Lizard, yeah, much more than last time. Last time I was spelling on a first grade level. Well, so was I, to be fair, the last time everyone pointed out my spelling was horrendous. But what can you do? And the guy over there. I need to breathe. I need to work on my breathing. I try to hold my breath as little as possible on this game, just so I save it sort of for the real dire situations, and then that's why when I do long shots I never really hold my breath. I just try and go for it, which is a bad thing, to be honest. It's not a good thing. I shouldn't really do it. Frankie Foster. In Battlefield 1 there's too many MG and the bullet damage is whack, but it would be cool if Verdun can have a battlefield physics so you can blow holes in the ground, etc. Yeah, it's just not a big enough game to do it, mate. I think that's the problem. And obviously, as I say, the studio that makes this game, it's only an indie studio, so but I agree with you. It's what pisses me off. It's such a big company, EA. Or is it? Who is it who makes the Battlefield games? It's EA, but there's another sort of sub-company that makes it with them. I forgot their name now. But they've got all the potential, you know, they've got the graphics engines, they've got the guys to work on the game, and they still fuck it up every year. Is the match open? No, Lizard, it's not tonight, mate. Sorry. I'm just playing a bit of offline, mate, to be honest with you. I could change it after, I suppose. I'll have a look into it. In the UK, are they called grades or years in school? I think they call them years in school. Drifter, keep your friends close but your enemies close in the Keter. Let's join forces and defeat Ever Alive. Drifter, I never thought you'd become a communist. Never. It says something to that, you know, it really does. Yeah, well, have you been reading Heresy? Unacceptable. I fucking haven't, mate. I haven't been reading anything lately, to be honest with you. Frankie, is it cross-platform? No, but they need to do that. I actually think it would really get the numbers up high if they're cross-platform, but I don't think they can, because is it PC where they've got the largest servers? So I don't know if it's even possible, and yeah, I'm not sure. But it's it's not cross-platform basically, no. But it would be nice. It'd bring more players into the game. And it's a good point actually. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm clueless. The most bearable mode in Battlefield 1 is hardcore. Back to basics. Yeah, when I played Battlefield 4, I always played on the hardcore service because I couldn't stand sniping being 2 shots. I couldn't stand that. It pissed me off, especially when you use like a heavy grade sniper. And I didn't snipe often, but when I did, that pissed me off. And the bullet sponge in Battlefield's horrendous. Let's try and get some long shots here. Missed him. Hit him again. Took his arm off, I think. There, that was nice. The drift I was doing destroying it since that doesn't make sense. But the Russians, a small price to pay for salvation. Programming is Hevo. Do you play custom games to level up a lot? No, mate. I play. I don't even play to level up anymore. I just play custom games because I find it more enjoyable. To be honest, I think, as I say, you know, I can customise it in a way that I want. So I only want to play as the Central Powers, but I only want to verse the French. So I can make that happen. With online you can't do that, I suppose. But I don't know if there's a certain thing where you can earn more points on custom game than you can online. I'm not sure, I haven't actually looked into it. You might be able to, you might not. A lot of online games usually make private games so that you can't rank up too quick compared to online. Because it's sort of boosting, isn't it, I suppose. Some would class it as boosting. Where's he running to? Where are you going to go? That's what I mean, he's like running like a robot there. So you can't really shoot him. Cunt. Take his head off. But yeah, I like the custom game just because, as I say, I like having my own squad and stuff. And I don't want people lying down in trenches with MGs, it just pisses me off. It ruins the game. In some respects, you can make it more realistic. Frankie, 32 on console, 64 PC. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, Frankie. Caleb, I wish you could actually control artillery in this. Oh, so do I. A few people have suggested doing that before. They've said, why can't we take control of the sort of MGs on the battlefield and stuff. Try and no scrolling. No, it wasn't working. I think I might have got them at the end. But yeah, Frankie, I love Verdun snipers, so do I. Absolutely love them. Caleb, me too. Nikita Hebo, I think Finnish snipers would be just fine. Camouflage roller one. Finnish snipers there, yeah. They held the Russians back for long enough, didn't they, in World War Two? The Drifter, are you sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends Hebo? I am. Of course. An advert should pop up at the start of all my videos now. Even the 2-minute ones, just so I can earn that extra bit of cash, you know. Sponge as much money as I can. I'm being sarcastic just for the Americans as well, because I know they don't understand sarcasm. I don't earn any money off YouTube and don't want to. I hate advertisement. Where's he going? We still in this trench? Yeah, we are. There's a nice headshot. I'm really trying to go for this 2,000. Is it 10,000? Actually, is it 5,000 or 10,000? It's something. It's like 5,000 or 10,000 headshots. So I'm trying to earn into trophy on PlayStation. It's extremely rare to get them done. Be nice to have. Got him. I've got to. In fact, I need to call my artillery. I'm using it. Clueless. Naturally, it's the best game. Drifter, got to get that video up to 10 minutes after that, end the video, of course, yeah. Frankie Foster, they could make a cannon class or something. Yeah, they could. I'm not sure why they don't, I suppose, but I don't know. Maybe they just haven't got the capacity to do that or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, it'd be amazing. I've always suggested when you get a recon plane, you actually get to be in that plane in one of the seats where you can actually look over and sort of manually spot the enemies. I think that'd be amazing. You'd only be in the air for like 30 seconds, but you can manually spot the enemies for the team and earn some points doing it. And it makes sense because surely that's not too difficult to do. In fact, I can hear spy planes. So if you sat on the back of that with binoculars looking out, and every time you saw someone, it would come up as a red marker on the map, if you have the HUD on, that is. Just simple, but it'd be nice. Good time with that recon plane to help my explanation out. It's a nice kill. Took his fucking head off. Let's reload this. Programmers, do a 5-minute intro. Oh yeah. I'll just do like a War Thunder sponsor or something for 5 minutes, and then actually play the game after as well. Oh no, where's it? What's the Siege one? Not War Thunder, it's World of Warships. Although that's not mobile gaming enough, is it? It has to be more mobile game style. Clueless, you know you're in for a ride when this gameplay takes up less time than the ads, yeah. Yeah, I was... There's certain videos on YouTube I can't watch anymore. It's like if it's a 10-minute video and then there's an advert every 2 minutes, it's fucking unbearable. I don't know how anyone puts up with it. I just turn the video off before, you know, I'm not fucking watching this. And then they go on like sort of betting and things is a bad thing, gambling's a really bad thing, yet nearly every advert I come across on YouTube at the minute is a gambling advert. So I don't know where the fucking humanity is in that when they go on about shit like that. It's what makes me laugh, it's a load of shit. It's just a money making con. I don't like people who put adverts in the videos to make money, I just think it's wrong. Especially when they've got people donating to them already and stuff, or paying memberships through subscriptions. It's just fucking greediness. I think I was watching like a history video. I don't know if it was Simple History or some guy like that. And it looked like a really interesting video, and it probably was. But as I said, like the advert was every 2 minutes, and it was unwatchable, absolutely unwatchable. It ruined the video. Clueless. Also, has anyone gotten a 45-minute YouTube ad lately? Frankie Foster. I like the way the gas masks work on this. Gas masks work on this. Yeah, I agree, mate. completely agree. People don't like the German ones because of this. They've got these awful eyesight, but they're not as bad on the game. Before the update, you could hardly see out this gas mask, but now it's not too bad, I suppose. But everyone used to hate the central powers gas masks. I don't mind them anymore. They're okay. Caleb, gas is the best. It's also a pain in the arse though, mate, because if you've got like a retard CEO and he calls it in on your own team or where you're attacking, it really fucks you over. Same with smoke as well. Smoke can fuck you over and it can help you. It all depends on when and how and why you call it in, I suppose. So shot him in that backpack he was wearing there. I keep seeing 888 casino. Yeah, mate. I mean, that's what I mean. They talk about like gambling's a bad thing, and then they give you like a gambling advert, and you think, what the fuck's going on there? Retards. Frankie Foster in Russia. We had Casino 777. And that's the problem with Russia. They don't know numbers and fucking letters. They all look the same. The Drifter. He also sponsored by Ladbrokes Sellout. Pro Gaming. This is local premiere. But gas is deadly and it can make it easier to hide. Yes, it can. Sometimes. Yeah, it can. It can. But it can fuck your own teammates over as well. It depends where you're attacking, mate. It depends on the situation. It's very situational. Hellboy is sponsored by Dashlane, NordVPN and Vikings all at once. Oh yeah, NordVPN, you can't forget that one. It's just so Drifter doesn't DOS me and have a look at all my bank details. That's why I have NordVPN. Caleb, because no one looks down when it's multiplayer. Clueless, I don't mind gambling, I just hate in games like 2K20 when it's rated E and it's literal casino. Oh yeah. Like what's it called, Ultimate Team and FIFA and things like that. I get you. Yeah, gambling in games, like microtransactions with loot crates and packs, that's all gambling. I don't know how they get away with it, especially 2K. 2K is, I heard, is like the worst game in the world for it. I think it's worse than FIFA. In fact, I'm sure I've seen the trailer for 2K and it's a bunch of guys like sitting on a couch or something, opening like, or sort of playing on fucking slot machines, trying to get these sort of packs of things. It's just shocking. It's unbelievable. And again, though, the reason they put them in games is because you've got retards who like throw money at them. If you're going to give them money, they're going to keep doing it. Just stop giving them fucking money and they won't put it in the game. Or if they do, they'll learn a lesson because people will just stop buying. It's like GTA with the shark cards. People spend so much money on shark cards. Just buy a modded account. Buy a modded account for 10 quid like we did and you got 5 billion. Or you spend like 60, 70 pounds to get like 8 million or some shite like that. I don't know how it works. I need a drink. Insert. EA Casino for stealing all your salary. The only YouTube ad I've ever used was Honey because it finds you coupons. I've heard of that one. Sounds an interesting one. Honey, I have seen that. Never used it though. I don't know what coupons I'd use, I suppose. Depends what you get coupons in, mate. Could do with Morrison's ones. Maybe the Asda one. Frankie, I was playing in the summer and gas was everywhere and I heard a whistle and lots of people running and we got to my kneecaps and blew off by a bomb and I knew this game was for me. Yeah. Is this guy going to kill me? Oh, he's already dead. Yeah, it's like scenarios like that I love. It's what makes the game really sort of realistic. It's the anarchy as well on multiplayer sometimes where you've got loads of guys with you, you've got sort of machine gun firing, you're getting pinned down at the same time. I'm out of ammo, I'm dead. But yeah, it's some of the best parts about the game, mate, that, definitely. Pro Games Lizard, Natural Libre. I am Fisher Natural Libre from 216. Honestly, don't understand that. Clueless, they never learn. Drifter, don't be using Show Libre. Great movie. I've never watched it. Never watched that film. Clueless, it just finds codes when you buy something online, so you have to save money. Yeah, that sounds alright, to be fair. The Drifter, any more of that and you're out the stream. Someone made Drifter the mod, clearly. Clueless, Show Libre versus Napoleon Dynamite, which is better. Frankie Foster, does anybody play Verdun on Xbox? Nikita Hebel, I see you're struggling with pushing this French. I think you've just got dehydrated. How about we bring you some water tanks? I think at the time it was water buckets, not tanks. Nikita the man-eater there. The Russian bear himself. BMT Trumps. Start this game a week ago and it's very fun. Nice. There's another person who started the game and enjoying it. That's good to hear. I'm glad. It's a great game. The Drifter, wow, Hebo. Went over your head, that one. Which one? Caleb, are they going to do anything about anything new with Verdun? I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think their main focus currently will be on Tannenberg and getting that out for the time that they said they would, because they're sort of cocked up. This update that we've just had for Verdun was meant to be out ages ago, and we've only just got it now pretty much. So I imagine they'll be working really hard to try and get Tannenberg ready for when they said it would be out, which is, well, officially on that website that I've the news website I got it from, which I've put on the channel. I think it's around December time. I can't remember the exact date, but it's in December. So fingers crossed we get it for them. Maybe even earlier. You never know. But you take everything with a pinch of salt when it's just with these devs on this game, because you never know. Let's use the worst gun in the game. I think this is the worst gun in the game. Will it let me switch? It will soon, probably after I die. Nikita Hebel, you just rewrote the whole of history of tank building by calling tanks buckets. Possibly. Frankie Foster, we are the new rookies for the trenches. You'll soon learn, mate, you'll soon learn. The more you play, the better you get, apart from me. My shooting's actually got worse, I think, the more I've played Verdun. Yep, definitely got worse. Breathe, Hebel, breathe. We've all fucked off now. Let's try and get more on up there somewhere. I'm just going to hold this tunnel, because once you've lost this tunnel, it's a game over. Oh, we're attacking. This is what I'm going crazy. Hold on. The Drifter. He meant actual tanks for the Germans fought. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, right, okay, I got it. Yeah, it did go through me. The joke was too intellect. Alright, no, Nikita. No. Don't make me bring up Mao, because he'll put you down like he put the rest of you down in the 70s. I'm multitasking here, Nikki. I'm not a woman. I do struggle at multitasking. I'm trying to play a game, kill Frenchmen, read sort of your semi-Russian comments that are half English, half Russian, tell the Drifter not to abuse half the audience. It's a difficult job, this. And it's fucking boiling. It's like being in the Amazon forest at the minute in England. There's my little rant over. And I'm now using the worst gun in Verdun, so it's just, my job has just got 10 times harder than it should be. They give this. Whoa, he's a sexist now. No, it's just a fact. We all know women multitask, men don't. That's a fact. Although I'm having a good go at it, trying. Did you just say I'm not a woman? I can't multitask? Laugh my ass off. Yes. I did. Frankie, I know. It was 30 in the UK. Yeah, it is, mate. It's absolutely boiling. We were meant to get thunderstorms tonight, and we got a bit of thunder. But to be fair, it was meant to be the warmest day last year, and today feels warmer. I think it's just more humid today. So I'm quite cooked up at the minute. Got a lot of water, no alcohol. Alcohol-free night. Just water, because that's what I need. It's tough enough without being abused by fucking Nikita the Manager. The Russian bear himself. I need to fall back. Come on, run. Pro Gaming Lizard banned, yes. I will be banned. Not in the ban world. To be fair, if I was going to get banned off YouTube, I would have got banned about 3 streams ago. See, in the videos, I always try to be very, very tame. Apart from the recent video I put up, I was ranting a bit, but I always try to be calm, a bit collective, you know. But in the streams, I just sort of try to have a bit more of a joke on. I sort of have to as well, I think. Hebo, thank you. Now you try to rewrite the whole history of women fight against sexism. Who cares? I'll just let it go over my head. Come on, Rachel Rover. This gun's not doing too bad. It's like a mini cannon. Look at that. Now we've got a nice 10 minutes of reload gameplay. Oh fuck. Give me 10 minutes, Frenchman. Shall duel him in a minute. Right, to war. So we'll do it. The Karens are coming for your head now, Hebo. Oh, fuck 'em. Frankie, thanks global warming here. Nikita, the Soviet bear. Al Gore lied about global warming. Drifter's got a leg on for Hebo tonight. I know, he has. He always has. Completely jealous. He's completely depressed. That's just leave him be. He has nothing going for him in life. We actually went to one of the coastal areas yesterday just to sort of get out a bit, and he sat in the water sort of face down for at least 10 minutes. The Drifter, this is the Drifter in real life. So if that's not a sign of depression, I don't know what is. And I know we should be helping him, not bullying him, but it is what it is. Frankie, you know they are trying to ban Father's Day because it's sexism. Oh, fuck me. There's some degenerates in this world, isn't there? Just get a grip. If it was up to me, I'd just ban both of them, because, you know, they've got birthdays and Christmas, so just ban Mother's Day and Father's Day. We don't need 2. You British are easy to joke about. Nikita, the Russians have no sense of humour. No understanding of sarcasm. The amount of jokes I've said to you in the last few weeks has been unbelievable. Some of them weren't even jokes, they were just insults. The Drifter is policing the police. Nikita, Hebo, additional task for no women. Communism debate is back. Oh Christ, no more communism please. It's treason then. The Drifter, I love democracy. When do you stream? Because I'm going to go to bed. Just whenever I'm free, to be honest. I normally try to do one a week. It's usually, it can be any time in the week. It's usually like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're my main days. It's on the night. It's normally late at night as well. But it's usually one a week, and then there's one video a week as well. It just depends on work and university and things. But at the minute, I've got neither of them because of coronavirus. So. Yeah, I have no schedule, to be honest with you. It's pretty open. Although, Nikita, I'll be honest with you, I did enjoy talking to you when you joined the party the other day. I thought that was interesting. The next time you're on, I'll get you in a party, we'll have another talk. I'll try and get to the bottom of your communist illness. That was a nice kill. And Nikita, Hebo, it's not just Russians can't get a joke. It's you can't normally joke or even insult someone. I don't know about that, man. I think I'm quite bad for insulting people. Okay, see you around night. Have a good night, Frankie. Have a good one. Drifter, farewell, Frankie. Sub to Drifter, cheers. When I make Nikita a mod, Drifter, you will be gone. Although I'm kind of reluctant to make Nikita a mod. I don't want the chat turning red. I have no doubt the British government's already watching this sort of YouTube channel, waiting for some sort of dodgy thing to happen through Nikita. Drifter, are you threatening me, Master Jedi? I might be. Oh, you know it's warm when your cold water's just gone warm. That's fucking vile. What I'm going to do as well after this game, I'm going to change my regiment. I'm not sure what to yet though. I might use the MG for a bit. It's something I don't really use. I'm quite reluctant to use it online due to the way people sort of play with them, but I might have a little go, I suppose. Change the gameplay up a bit. Pro Gamer Lizard, I'm going to melt. Next two of us, mate. Next two of us. Oh, nice goal. Nice goal. The Drifter, don't make me say it on stream here. I love this map and I hate it. This what I was saying in the video the other day is this part of the map is fantastic. This tunnel area, you get some really good sort of scenarios, but as soon as you get to these trench lines this way, I really don't enjoy the trench lines that way. Are okay, they're a bit more enjoyable, but this way it's just, I don't like the way it's set up. I just don't like the setup. Hey, well, I guess you don't want to finish the discussion we started on last stream. Truly something British will do. You must have misheard me because I said about maybe 2 minutes ago that I'd like to have a discussion with you again at some point. Typical communist, ignoring the facts. Usually it's death tolls they like to ignore. They were just people. Oh, that was a nice kill. Verdun zombies. Verdun. Yeah, Hebel, what's your favourite map? What is my favourite? St. Mihiel, mate. St. Mihiel is my favourite. Even though it's the most new one, I just like how it's quite bright. It's quite. I don't know. I like the layout of the trenches. I suppose I really do like the layout of that map. I made a video the other day on which are the best maps. Sort of, I go for like a rundown of which ones I like and why, which ones I don't like. And again, as I say, I would put this one higher, but it's just this trench line I absolutely hate. Even though I suppose it's pretty unique on the game, it's just I don't like the setup. Let's try and hit this cunt again. There we have, dropped him. The Drifter demonetised. Well, you're digging the grave for yourself by trying to blame me on not looking death tolls. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming communism. got the wrong end of the stick, Nikita. The Russians do like to play the victims, so I'll give them that. I'll give him that. We'll let him off. I wasn't paying attention. What the hell just happened? I don't know. I forgot what I said now. Well, I said something like, which sort of put Nikita down a bit, I think. He's now not very happy with me. It's something to do with ignoring the facts, but I said that's a typical communist thing to do. Especially death tolls. They like to ignore it. It's funny because I talk about keeping politics out of games and stuff, but every time I stream it, it just becomes politicised every time. But it's exactly why I can't make Nikita a mod. Because I think he'd somehow ban me. He'd ban me. I don't know how he'd do it, but he would. He'd find a way. Oh, lucky. The drifter. Nikita equals communism. Communism. I don't understand that. Maybe I'm missing the joke again. I'm going to use the Luger for a bit. One of the best weapons in the game. Although sometimes, not all the time, you do have to sort of shoot them twice. But I enjoy it. I prefer the other. I don't know if it's a different version of the Luger or a different weapon in general, but it looks like the Luger and it's got quite a big mag. I completely forgot what its name is actually. I'll put my mask on. I need to get into cover anyway. Clueless, I could be a mod. Yeah, you're in the line, Clueless. To be fair, mate, I'm not too worried about having mods on. As I say, I try to keep it very not monetised, I suppose, or what do you call it, modernisation or something. I always try. I just, you know, I let people have the freedom to say what they want to say, because I think that's the problem with YouTube. It's gone a bit downhill. Everyone's getting sort of banned for saying certain things, just as long as they don't go too far. But you know when you draw the line. Very open shot here. Although that can invite the wrong people in. But we'll see. But just like on Twitch, for example, if you like comment something, like, you know, you say this guy, you're playing shit, for example, their mods are straight on it and banning you just because you say they play shit. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if someone says you play shit? Get on with it. Abuse them back. That's what I'd say. It's like when someone sends you a message on Siege, you send them, threaten their family. That's what I do. Well, a very unpractical thing to do, including that First and Second World Wars were the creation of capitalism, as well as 20 million people die each year due to hunger, death from curable disease, and no access to clean water. Yeah, that's fair enough. A lot of people do die from starvation and stuff, but I don't want to get your argument, because when communism did exist, millions of people still died. It's not a competition between, you know, capitalism, millions were better, fucking communism, millions were better. You know, it doesn't. I don't understand that argument. Many people died in communism too. I don't understand that. Maybe your argument is that it wasn't real communism, but everyone says that. What is the real version? That's what annoys me, I think, when people say stuff like that. I would counter this, but phones on 3% hard. They're trying to make YouTube a social safe space, yeah, which they shouldn't. They're aiming it more at the younger generations. That's the problem, I think, now. YouTube used to be like a space where you could, I don't know, upload things, people comment whatever they want. You have more of a joke. Back in the day, YouTube was great, but that's why I've got BitChute linked onto my YouTube channel, because if this channel gets banned, you should be able to go in the description and then go into BitChute, where I'd probably upload videos onto there, if that was the case. But hopefully it'll never come to that, fingers crossed. Although after tonight's stream it could, we'll see. Well, do you like GD? I think that's the rifle, isn't it, mate? That's the other German rifle. And if it is, if I'm thinking of the right gun, yes, I do. I like the iron sights for it. I think, I'll be honest with you, most of the German weapons are right, apart from that revolver that I was using before, Lizard. I wasn't a big fan of that revolver, just because the reload times and each, you know, after every shot you have to pull back the trigger again. Well, I'm not sure if it's got the trigger, I don't know my weapons, but, you know, the little thing. GW, wait, long time period, 41, yeah, I don't know if it's got the 41 time period. I think it's, I'll play with it next game. In fact, I should be able to play with it now, let's have a look. Shuts. Oh shit, wrong thing. Here we are. 1828, so this is... Well, this is the sniper variant. This is one of them... I think this is the old version of the rifle, isn't it? Because there's a more modern version. This is 1898 version. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a nice gun. Where's he going? We can't shoot in between the metal postings. We'll see. Oh yeah, the robotic run. We've got him. Nikita, you know, even if I take the highest and most unrealistic numbers of real-time communism, 100 million for 80 years, capitalism will still be much deadlier overcoming communism death toll. Well, I'm not going into it, mate. I'm not arguing about it in chat. Told you where I stand on it. Yeah, that's a nice kill. Yeah, Lizard, just really nice weapon. I'll use the iron sight variant as well after this, or shortly. Still attacking this trench. Looks like a fresh spawn up here. There's a glitch. When I'm looking down the scope there, I've got little black dots. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep attacking. Hebo, I got a no scope before. You're proud. I'm very proud. Very proud. It's pretty good to do. Honestly, mate, that sometimes can depend on what weapon, and as long as you're not sprinting, as long as you're fairly close quarter, you can get some good no scopes in this game. But again, it depends on your sort of situation, I think, sometimes. Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? Didn't hit him. That was a bad shot. Let's get a reload. Clueless, I'll try. I'm playing Battlefield 3, so let me just turn into a woman first. How sexist. Or is it? If you want to multitask, you're going to have to. I'll get into trouble for that, definitely. Ah, he moved, bastard. Programmer Lizard, he was at the bottom of the hill, bottom of the trench, and I jumped off from the top and got him. Nice. Oh, nice. Definitely. It's quite a satisfying feeling getting a kill like that, I suppose. It is on any game, but especially Verdun. Because in Verdun, especially online, it's very much a game of reactions. It's who shoots first, and some people are great. So if you're able to get some no-scope kills, then very, very helpful. So the guys coming in from the right flank. I think I dropped in. Definitely did. There's another one there though. It's bad shooting. He was turning back there. Quick reload. Nikita, it wasn't a real communism argument, it was only partly true. There is a lot of points to mention which makes saying it wasn't a real communism a very big oversimplification of which is partly false. But I thought you've told me yourself before It wasn't proper communism. Which is why it didn't work with Mao and Stalin, Venezuela, North Korea. Why it continues not to work in North Korea. I understand your argument of capitalism, you don't like it, but it works for most countries that use it. Not all of them, understandably. There's still countries that have a major sort of line from the rich to the really low poverty line, like India for example, but it's the best sort of system we've found so far, and it's the system we're sticking with, because if you change system now, your country would go downhill, and it wouldn't work in a modern world. Look at North Korea, they've got a famine every year. The people are on their knees pretty much. You see fuck all. It's not just as simple as saying, yeah, let's change our stance on how we work. It just doesn't work like that. You need a massive, massive shift across the world sort of equally for something like that to happen. Programming Lizard feels bad for the people in both World Wars who got 360 no scopes. Very true, mate. Should really be going for headshots here. Uncle Lewis, you better rethink your discussion. Ooh, you set him off, Lewis. You can see some muzzle flashes over here. Can't see him. So Clueless then, if you're playing on Battlefield 3, are you on the Xbox sort of backwards compatibility, or are you on the PS3 itself? Or Xbox 360? How did he not die there? There's another one down. Ah, he moved. I think that button's changed as well. I'm sure it used to be triangle to switch to iron sights, and I think it's one of the downwards keys now. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's the downwards key, which is interesting. I'm almost positive it used to be hold triangle to switch, which in a way I suppose it's better because it's quicker using the keys, but Clueless, yeah, Xbox One, nice. So the redone the graphics, as it just literally backwards compatibility, same graphics as it was on 360, and is that how it works? Nikita 1, I don't know much about Mao. 2, Venezuela wasn't socialist. It still had a private property. 3, North Korea had a famine in 1990 and no more. Mate, it has. I'm telling you, the famine in 1990 you heard about it because it was an absolute devastation. But they still have bad. If the weather gets bad in North Korea with floods, that is gated. You know, every time there's a bad flood in North Korea, they're fucked for a while. Never seen a fat North Korean apart from Kim Jong-un. Pro Gaming Lizard. I didn't even know you could change to iron sights. Yeah, it's a good feature. You hopefully wouldn't have to use it too often, but it's also a good way of learning how to use a sniper, because if you want to scout out where they are on the battlefield and then zoom in, it works really well. But yeah, so iron sights are really useful, and obviously they're useful as well if some guy comes up close to you. With the sniper rifles, you never have bayonets on, and you don't really want to hit someone with your gun because it takes too long, so you need to get that shot off quick. It's a useful little trick. Caleb, one of North Korean soldiers, lady ran across the border. No, man, not lady. Yeah, a lot of them do, mate. There's a lot of defectors. And yeah, you can't surely believe there was only one famine in the 90s. The reason you heard about that one is because it was the worst one they've had, to our knowledge. I bet they get them a lot more often. It's a very, 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 very poor country. Their only support and income is illegally through China. And I'm going to switch class here because the sniper isn't too great for this map. Let's use the MG for it. I very rarely use it. Which one shall I use? Which one? Let's unlock them both quickly. I think one of them has like 200 rounds, one of them's a pretty heavy hitter. Pro-gaming legend probably got shot. I think one of them, one of the most recent ones, he did get shot, but he did survive. Nikita, capitalism failed. It brings wars, crisis, unemployment, famines, homeless, social inequality, and so far and so forth. We'll see, mate. See what's to come, mate. You're never going to have a perfect system, that's for sure. It'll never work, never has, never will. We've never had a perfect system. Socialism is one of them things that sounds nice and would be nice if it worked, but people sort of, it just doesn't work. Mowing them down. Makes me an easy target. I'm just a sitting duck. Yeah, I think it's this MG which has like 200 rounds. It's a fun one to use. I think one of my highest killed game. Oh, there's a guy behind me. One of my best games where I got like, I don't know, it was like nearly 200 kills online was with this gun. I think just because it had so many rounds, and I think it was on Picardy. I think it was on that map. I've got it somewhere. I'll have to look in the account and statistics and stuff. Caleb, there's been less war in this era than all eras combined. Fucking true, mate. At least less wars in the West anyway, you know. There's been conflicts, but not wars. They're very different conflicts and wars. People always forget that. War and conflict are two different things. Need to find a good setup. That's what I need to find. Capitalism kills, and as soon as we change it, sooner we can continue to get rid of these problems, which stops humanity from progression. I don't know what you're on about. How does it start? We've made more technological advancements than we ever have done under capitalism. Look at Elon Musk, for example. He is currently developing the Neuralink, a little chip that gets put in the back of your head which can fix blindness or if you've been paralysed because of brain injury. And he made his wealth through capitalism. The stuff that he's sort of developing is unbelievable. The reason you're able to speak to me right now is through capitalism. It's somewhat hypocritical. But I'm not going into it. I don't want to go to politics tonight. I really don't. Clueless, fun fact: he's the richest African American. Yeah, he's South African, isn't he? Like that accent, or the language Afrikaan. I think they're comes from the Dutch, doesn't it? I think, if I'm right. I think I'm going to have to switch weapon here as well. I wanted to use an MG, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So look, let's have a look at the grenadier quickly, and we'll get the shovel out. It's quite a gritty trench line to hold, so let's do this. And the French seem to be in it, so... what weapon are we using quickly? Kar-98, classic. But yeah, I'm really in the mood for like a World War II game recently. Start shooting. Probably most of the time I join your stream, I don't have a clue what the fuck is going on. Can't blame you. Can't blame you. It's usually we talk about normal things, and then someone brings up communism. Sets Nikita off, Nikita goes on off one, and then it's sort of game over from there. The chat could be talking about anything, from politics to women to fucking EA. Nikita, and private property is the base of capitalism. Centralised planned economy is much rational. Very much rational. Oh, that was a nice kill. took my face off. Very. I need to be concentrating here because I'm very chat conscious. Clueless. Nikita is like a wind-up toy. He is. Wind him up and you set him off and he goes on a fun one. Caleb. I hope the people that made Verdun makes a World War II game. I'd fucking love that, Caleb. I'd love it. I really would. I have a feeling they might make another World War I game at some point though. Or maybe make another massive update for Verdun after Tannenberg. But we'll see. This game and Tannenberg, you know, past all the issues they've had, will have earned them a lot of money, regardless of what people think of the game. They would have got a lot of sort of profit from this game. So they've now got a sort of bigger field and range to sort of adapt what they want. I suppose, you know, if they want to make a World War II game, I suppose they could. And by the way the gameplay works in this game, they could easily make a decent World War II game, I think. More than decent. And this game is like perfect. It's like what I think it was Clueless was saying before. It's not a game that's too hardcore, but it's not too easy either. It's got that right amount of, I suppose, no, sort of realistic gameplay, if you like. But it's not like simulation, like it's just the right, and that's you know, that's what we need. I think that's what you need on console. I think you can't have it too armor like, because then people will struggle, and then you get fucking idiots that come on and don't know what they're doing and take charge, and you just don't want that, you know. Nikita, thanks to planned economy, Russia became industrialised superpower in 10 years, whilst West took hundreds of years to achieve it. Right. You did that, Nikita, because of oil. I want a realistic Modern Warfare game to come to console. Yeah, mate, I do as well. I was really hoping the new Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, would do that, and it was looking like they were going to do that, but it isn't. I still dislike that game. Call of Duty at the minute doesn't know what it wants to be, and it hasn't known what it wants to be for like fucking years. Call of Duty used to be, for me, a game that I'd go on, an arcade first-person shooting game that I'd go on and enjoy and sort of relax on and get angry from time to time, because that's what I do. But now it's just shit. I just think it's shit. His leg just came off. Caleb, it just caused the lives of suffrage of all Russians and all those that were under their control. War Gaming Lizards, yeah, Insurgency Sandstorm is coming soon. Oh, nice. I'm close. Ouch, I'm playing that game right now. Ouch, I'm playing that game right now. Which game? Call of Duty? The new one? I think it's that one. Unless you're playing Insurgency, you lucky bastard. Yeah, hopefully when Insurgency comes out I'll have plenty of videos on the channel for it. And streams. If it comes out on time. If it's off time, I'm going to really struggle, because I'll go back to normal. My life sort of goes back to normal in end of August, early September, because I've got university again. But then I've also got the job, because I'll be moving back to York, so I've got to sort of focus on that more than the YouTube channel, which is why early this year I was sort of away for a good few months, and I could only make the odd video, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll try and work with it. I will try and work with it. Fucking hell, it feels like it's getting warmer. I don't know what's going on. Call of Duty. Oh, you bastard. Yeah, Caleb, I love the old Call of Duties too. Pro Gaming Lizards. I was on it earlier and I punched my wardrobe. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, mate? It's the campers that got me on the new one. The campers really managed to piss me off. Where's that? I could just play in CNC just to make you jealous. You would. Clearly you'd be doing a good job, because I would be. Caleb, so much suffering was brought by communists, and thanks to them the healthcare became available to each Russian. Education became available to all the population and no one was homeless in the USSR. So, Nikita explained to us, right, the fall of the USSR, because I know after that happened, that sort of 9 years after, Russia was in the shit, wasn't it, for a while? Homelessness was sort of rife. And that's a nice kill. 3 Frenchmen just for the 3rd. There we are. Very nice. We'll hold down the centre ground, I think, instead of running around with a shovel. Caleb, what about the gulags? Communism is broke. It's only pulling up regular people. It doesn't matter what you say, Nikita, he has an answer. Tell you what, the Kar-98 is a good weapon. I think there's a version of the Kar-98 on this game, and I don't know which German regiment uses it. It's like a shit version of it, and I can't stand it, but the original version of it's really fun to use. Quick drink. Very thirsty. Nice kill. We'll move back into the centre ground if I can. In fact, I'll hold this. This area will do. Let's hold the ground. How much ammo does this thing have? Can't take up my hood off, but I think it only has like 5 rounds, which is why I like the Lee Enfields better than the car and most other rifles in the game. Just because having 10 rounds is so fucking helpful, especially with a gun like the Lee Enfield, which is accurate enough. Even with 5 rounds, it would be pretty deadly, but the fact that you get 10 is amazing. Just hold here quickly to get my breath. Clueless, everyone who dies of communism has another chance at the gulag. Yeah, that's why population living standards was getting higher under communists. Program lizard, especially the people who sit in corners and windows with the Kar-98, makes me want to jump off a cliff. It does, mate, definitely. It's when I got the game right at the beginning. So when I was playing the game on multiplayer, like if I was playing hardcore or hardcore free for all or something, or domination, people didn't use the Kar-98 too much. But then, as the game advanced, maybe a month or 2 in, it just became, you know, it's just a sweat fest. People using it. This guy's hard to fucking shoot. Oh, that was a weird death. Nice kill, got his head. Just got took out though. Yeah, I really didn't enjoy using that. Didn't enjoy playing that game. Just honestly, the campers in pretty much every map was just insane. I've never known Call of Duty to be so bad, but at the same time, the way they made the maps, it sort of encouraged camping, and I just didn't want to play that game. No one plays Call of Duty to camp, or you shouldn't anyway. You're a prick if you do, because it's not the game to be doing it. Call of Duty is about getting the kill streaks and trying to get as, you know, your KD as high as possible, trying to get them prestiges and stuff. And there's another thing that took away prestige on the new Call of Duty, and that takes away half the fun. Part of Call of Duty for me is levelling up, and you know, they take that away. It's just, I don't know what they were fucking thinking, to be honest with you. But I've heard rumours that the new one's in the Cold War, and I do like the Cold War era. It does really interest me, so fingers crossed. Pro gaming does it, but the one gun that really need to remove is the Vector. I don't remember playing with the Vector, but I imagine that's quite a fast firing weapon. Another weapon I can imagine people abusing. Shovel him. After the fall of the USSR, Russia experienced all the goods of capitalism, like healthcare and education, for which you have to pay for. We don't pay for healthcare in our capitalist state. In the UK, we have the NHS. We get free healthcare. But because you got people lost in their jobs, nobody could pay for it. Pro Gaming Lizard, a guy called Futive's got a Nukon Search and Destroy. A Nukon Search and Destroy? Fuck me. Either he's a really good player or the guy who's versing was shit. I didn't even know, honestly, I've never known that to be possible. That must be one of like the world's first. I love Search and Destroy, it's a great game mode. I used to play Search and Destroy back in the day in Modern Warfare 3. One of my favourites. I used to play it on Call of Duty Ghosts as well quite a lot. That's a game everyone seems to hate, but for some reason I enjoyed COD Ghosts. I think the gameplay was still very retro when it comes to Call of Duty, I suppose. So I didn't mind it too much. I didn't mind the maps. It was the guns which let that game down, I think. The Honey Badger, I remember playing with that. Clueless, the Vector melts your face before you know what hit him. Yeah, I can imagine it being a quick firing weapon. Nicky, Hebo, that sounds like communist elements in your country. It's socialist elements, not communist. And that's been around since the late... Free healthcare in the UK, that was, I think that was like 1900 that came in. Around the start of the Labour Party, basically. Let's get the shovel out, let's charge this guy. Okay, I think their own artillery's took a few of them the wrong guys out. Just been very helpful for me, but they've got me. Caleb. Lizard, the Vector is like getting jumped on by 253 people. Yeah, it doesn't sound like the nicest of weapons. Caleb, shotgun is fun to use in Verdun. Yeah, the American regiments in this game are pretty good. US Marines and Doughboys, probably the most popular regiments I'd say in the game, just because the weapons, they have the BAR, you have the trench shotgun. They have some of the best rifles, they have grenades. The US Marines are probably one of the best offensive factions in the game, if not the best. I think when I did my top factions and regiments series, I think I put them at the top. Not the top, sorry, one of the best for offensive. But I think I put the Yanks at the top. But they come in late in the war, so I think there's no surprise as to why they have pretty good weapons. Don't know who I put as the worst though. I don't know who's the worst. Because I think I used to really dislike the French at the start of the game, but the more I've after like 3 or 4 years of playing the game, sort of respect the French units now, because some of the weapons are pretty accurate. Some of the rifles they use, and even though a few of them only have 3 rounds per mag, just the weapon itself is accurate, and the bayonet with it. They've got pretty decent classes. It depends what you like playing as in Verdun, that's the thing. It's all, are you a rifle guy, yeah, a handgun guy, do you prefer MGs, are you a shotgun person? If you like rifles, you'll like the French. And the Tommies. The Tommies have some great rifles, but the Tommies is like the best all-round faction, I'd say. If you're a beginner, play as the Tommies for a bit. Because they have a good mix of guns, which lets you sort of learn the game a bit better. The one thing I'm missing on Verdun right now, and someone brought it up on one of the videos the other day, is the Wex flamethrower. And the Wex used to be pretty good on the game, but now it's just shit, which is a bit of a shame. But I think people complained that it was too OP, but it was like the type of gun that you needed to be OP. It was like, well, I say gun, it's a flamethrower, but I didn't mind. I'll quickly read the comments. Hebo, reason why you got that was on a big part October Revolution. What, free NHS? I don't know. I don't think it was. Pro Gaming Lizard, 1 sec. Getting meatballs. Fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you. Good choice. Caleb, kind of wish there was bagpipes. Yeah. Play some Total War games, mate. Play Empire Total War. Napoleon Total War. Play as the British. Get a Highlander unit. and I think you can download some mods and they do play bagpipes. As I said at the start of the video, my brand new laptop, £500 it's cost me, which is quite a bit, has just broke on me, and I had Medieval 2 Total War, which I was a big fan of. I was getting into that and it's completely fucked me over, so quite disappointed about that. But yeah, bagpipes are a really nice sound. I've got family that lives in Scotland, so when we go up there's always sort of bagpipes up there. It is a good sound, definitely. That's why I use it at the end of the videos sometimes in my sort of outro music. Also, I really like the Canadians in World War One. They use bagpipes quite a lot, I think. There's a nice kill. Hebo, there was an interesting short flash game called Warfare 1917. Yeah, I was telling you about that, Nikita, before when you said I used to play flash games as a kid. Fucking, it was called Adcon Arcade, and it was like 1,000 plus free flash games, and that Warfare 1917 was always on there. But I don't know if I ever played it, but I remember seeing it. I used to play like a game called like Jungle Rescue, where you had a helicopter, an RAF helicopter. You had to rescue like hostages by picking them up. It's quite a good little flash game. I always used to play like the stick shooters and stuff. Stickman Sniper, or whatever the fuck it's called. But I don't tend to play flash games anymore, to be honest with you. There were good little things, or the fact that people could make them. Fair play to them. But yeah, they were quite big a few years back. Hemo, when do you think will be the best time to buy PS5? I don't know. It depends what your depends what your financial sittings are like. You know, for me, I don't think there's any chance I'm going to buy one. Not a chance, because if let's just say the PS4 is priced at like £600, I'd rather just save my money to get a PC where I can buy where I can build my own PC for maybe like £2,000 or something, and I can also get like better games and things, or more games that are more my sort of genre. The games that you see on console I pretty much don't like. I don't like any of the exclusives pretty much. The only reason I have a console is because it's cheaper, and at the time I can't afford to be spending too much money. I'll be keeping the PS4 for a while, I think. It depends. I think I'd always wait maybe a month or two to see if there's any issues, because if you buy the first edition of a PlayStation and it's a bit dodgy compared to like a newer version, you'd be a bit angry. So I'd probably hold off for a month or two. So I've got like a first edition PS4, and I've had it since it came out, so a good few years now actually. And the issue I got with my PS4 is the disc tray is completely fucked, and also it sounds like a jet engine. You can probably hear it now through the mic, so yeah, I suppose I'd wait on a bit. But again, it's your money preference, and it's what you want. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to spend like £600 on a new console, and you're not a big fan of the games, you may as well just save up and get a PC. Because in the long run, you're going to appreciate it more, you're going to use it more. Because it's not guaranteed that you're going to get all these cool games for PS5. I mean, like post-scriptum type games and Hell Let Loose. Even though maybe the PS5 could run them, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get them. So I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be like a good spend for me to get a PS5. I don't think. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. Clues, I can actually play the bagpipes. Can you? It's a good skill to have. It's a good skill to have, that. It's always looked like a difficult instrument, I think, the bagpipes. If you ever play Verdun with me, you're going to have to play them. We'll play as the Highlanders, and every time we run into battle, I'll blow the whistle. You play a sort of... What's the song called? I forgot the name of the song now. But yeah, you play it basically when you go into battle. Nikita, is your PS4 normal, slim or pro? Normal. It's like it's the first release version of the game, of the console. Sorry. And it's been a bit dodgy, to be honest with you. It's died once completely, and the next day somehow it came alive again. What else did I? Well, yeah, the disc tray's fucked up. What else does it do? What else is bad? The little touchscreen buttons on this PS4 don't really work. It collects dust very easily. I used to have a 360 and I've had a PlayStation 2 and they didn't collect dust anywhere near as bad as the PS4 does. So, going to slap my ass off. Program Lizard, I'm back. Welcome back, Lizard. What meatballs have you got, mate? Have you just got meatballs? Have you got something with them? Have you got like bread with them? Sandwich? So don't mind meatballs on the run, but I think it's nice to have a little side with them. Caleb, my Xbox is that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? Is that? Or is it like a print one, if you know what I mean? Or are you saying you're playing that game, or is your Xbox like got like a Advanced Warfare cover? Because I know they do that. Caleb, what the servers like on Verdun on Xbox? Are they busy? Squad. Oh shit! Let's change the squad a bit. Let's go. Oh, not the French, not the fucking French. Jesus. Hold on a minute. Right. Why does it not let me move? Hold on a minute. I'll try a different method. Switch squad rolls like that. Oh yeah, this is the Kar 98. Oh, Kar 88. This is the German gun I'm not a fan of. I'll show it off a bit here. But it's like the older version of the car by the looks of it. Carbonara 1888. You get binoculars with it. So it's basically, yeah, it's a shit version. It looks a bit funny. It looks a bit different. I feel like it's not as accurate. That's what I feel. But what colour bread do you get? I'm a big fan of white, right? But we normally get brown. It depends, mate. Because when I'm living in York, I eat a lot more healthier, so I sort of get brown bread. But then sometimes if I feel like I just want to actually enjoy my meal, I'll get white. Hebo, what do you think about the modern consumers society? What does that mean? Does that mean the way we trade, the way we buy things? Is that what that means? Although I do like the sound of the reload on that weapon, that is very nice. It has the standard 5 rounds of the modern car has as well. Clues, what gun is the sawn-off barrel? It's the Canadian weapon. I think it's a Lee Enfield. That's got sawn off. And the iron sights are awful, but it's on the flanker class. So I think you get a grenade, 2 grenades with it. It's basically just, again, it's in the name, it's a flanker, so it makes sense. Which is what, again, I like the Canadian class because it's quite unique. It's quite a unique feature in the game. Let's hold the line order up here. Nice kill. Nice hit. Now I've just called in a heavy mortar barrage, which is quite interesting. Or a heavy mortar shell. We'll see how that works. Because I know sometimes the friendly fire gets a bit dodgy. Complain about this gummy foam, but I don't know if I'm just concentrating more on feeling more accurate. Just killed by myself. Program Lizard. I mean, like the colour of paper, if you know. I get orange. Oh, you're talking about the brand. I think you're talking, that's orange is like fucking Warburton's, I think. Which would, yeah, I'd probably go for Warburton's, mate. If there's a gun to me, yeah, that's what I'd pick. Yeah, they do the best bread. Goes well with meatballs. Although I haven't had meatballs in fucking ages. I suppose it's quite a good little snack to have on the night. If I'm feeling hungry at night, I'll normally just have a bowl of cereal or some toast. Even though that's sort of the same thing I'd be having in like 4 hours later. How about a main society whose main point in life is consuming all products it gets? The main achievement in this society is to buy as much of its own products as it can. Ah, so like... Well, I see what you mean. It sounds good, but in like... it sounds good, but it's not always possible. It's a great idea, it'd be good to do, and I think countries do try to do it as best as they can, but eventually you always have to buy products from different countries, you know, which is why international sort of trade's so important. So it's cool. But yeah, I mean, it sounds great, but it's not always possible. It's like medicine, for example. There's certain medicines you can't produce in your own country, so you sort of import it in. Or fruit. Or food in general, for example, food in general. Things like fish, I think we normally get a lot from sort of the Asian regions. We produce a lot of fish, we do a lot of fishing ourselves, but I think we import quite a lot as well. Programming Lizard, there's like blue, orange, green and stuff. Programming Lizard, I don't eat breakfast. I always try to eat breakfast. Sometimes it's not always like, you can't always do it, can you? I enjoy it. I enjoy a good breakfast. When I go running, I normally have apple and cinnamon porridge, glass of water, cup of tea, or coffee. Depends how tired I am. I always try to have a tea over coffee, but if I'm tired, I'll go coffee. It's got a more shelling down there. I don't like porridge though. Porridge is not like a... I don't think it's very tasty unless you put honey in it. I like porridge with a bit of honey in, but I eat porridge because it does give you a lot of energy. It really does do you good. It doesn't taste nice though. Clueless. Imagine being a weirdo who breathes oxygen. CO2 gang, rise up. Imagine breathing in 2020, I know. It's a fucking hate crime. He was stopping me from getting past. I think it's kind of society that creates a plain and boring human being who main interest is to consume as much as he can, and people in society who are very manipulative. You say them want to buy and they buy, but they call themselves unique. Yeah, but isn't that communism though, Nikki? Isn't their whole point is trying to live off the land, live through themselves and build their own society from buying their own products and stuff? Isn't that the whole point, isn't it? The whole point in nation, you know, being a nation state but depending on itself and not other nations. You know, working for one another. I have binoculars, that's not a good secondary weapon. Okay, they're thick as shit, and that was a great headshot, whoever shot that. I've accidentally called in. Yep, I've definitely called in. Quick read the shot. Program Lizard, I'm unique. Clueless. I'm clueless, you are clueless. That's what makes you clueless. Some bad shooting here. Ah, I haven't got any mortars to call in. Let's get some guys in here. Yeah, just before this game I was really slating this weapon. Saying I didn't like it, but I've really enjoyed using it so far in this battle. I just, again, the issue is with the German weapons is they don't have enough ammo. Other than the MGs have far too much ammo. But rifles, or rounds I should say, it's not ammo, it's rounds. I need more rounds. What's the most American meal you've ever eaten? Mine was a deep fried donut. That does sound very American. Is that what they do in America? They just deep fry fucking anything. I slowly deep fry it. Although, in the UK, at fish and chip shops, they started deep frying Mars bar, which is that's pretty American, I'd say. But I think the most American thing I've ever eaten, I was at like in our town, like a new American style sports bar opened, and these huge sort of barbecue joint of ribs came out, and it was like the biggest meal I've ever seen, and then underneath was just so like fries, like a mountain of fries. It was really good. The place only stayed open for about a month. I don't think it could afford the food it was like sort of bringing out. But I think that's what I love about America, the food. I've always wanted to go. The food, the culture, the sort of the land itself. I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to the more deserty areas, you know. Arizona. People thinking, oh, people say it's really bare, but I just like to go to Arizona for some reason. I'm not sure why. Could be a shithole, Clueless. You'll have to give me a warning. Come get me, come get me a deep fried beer. Oh. If one thing Americans can't do is drink. We all know that. We can all agree on that. Yeah, mine was a crumpet. Fuck off. Crumpets aren't American. That's sarcasm. That's sarcasm. Surely. Barbecue Americana pizza from Pizza Hut. I think anything that has barbecue in it, you can sort of state that's American, I suppose. Yeah, nice picking them off there. Yeah, Arizona's always a place I wanted to go. Nevada, I think. Oh, I've just shot my own guy there, what am I thinking? That was just always interested me, I think. Clueless, yeah, Arizona's very hot. One time I cooked my breakfast on the sidewalk when I was there. And that's more like it, Lizard. That sounds like the type of thing I want to do. Just a road trip, go through Arizona. I'm not really a big city person, to be honest with you. I'm not too bothered about cities. I prefer like the countryside and things like that. Come on, jump. Oh, he's too close. Nice kill. Right, I'm going to charge him. No, he's got me. Wasting my ammo there, to be fair. Hebbo, don't get my answer as a statement because I wrote the first thing I remembered and it may not be fully correct, but the basic point is there. Yeah, I understand you, Nicky. I get you. I understand what you mean. I like the idea of that consumer based, but well, I like it because it's your own nation making your own stuff, but it's obviously there's only so far you can go with that. I think that's what creates culture. I know you're saying it's very boring, but no, I think it's more so that's what shows who you are and where you're from. Like where I live used to be like the big industry over here used to be the miners and steelworks, but now that's all sort of gone. So now like the northeast doesn't have much identity, and I think when you have a consumer-based sort of area, that's where you get a bit of identity from what you do, from what you work, from what you live basically. Clueless, I've been to Florida before. It's like another world. Oh, that's interesting. How come? Be interested to hear and all that. Caleb, did you watch the space launch from SpaceX? Yeah, I did. It was interesting. It was a good one. I think it's the first one I've ever watched live. It's something to see. Everyone was safe, which was good. Yeah, we actually were going to, but postponed it unfortunately. Pro gamers, I hate where I live. I do too, mate. Can't stand it. I suppose it could be worse. I can't complain too much. I'm not a cunt, but there could be nicer places. The problem is now where I live, it isn't very unique. You don't find many people who are a bit more different, a bit more out there, a bit more interesting. Which again is what I'm saying to Nikita, is what gives a place sometimes identity is how people work or what jobs they do, what culture they live in. Caleb, yeah, it was cool. See it live over TV. Yeah, it was. I was really interested. What I was interested to see is how thin the rocket is, but how the capsule at the top, how sort of modern it looked. It looked amazing. Really interesting. It's amazing how they build stuff like that. Shows how far sort of technology is going. And sort of the maths of how they get it into space at the right time without colliding into other satellites and things like that. It's unbelievable. Hebo, no, I wrote communism high in the comments. I'm not sure, there's a lot of communist talk I wrote in the comments. Let's charge the bastards. Clues, it's like another world because there are weird trees, alligators, turtles everywhere, and zero hills and mountains. Yeah, oh yeah, it's tropical, isn't it? Florida, it's very tropical. I've heard it's like a place where a lot of Americans go to retire. Well, I don't know if that's true, Clueless, you'll have to correct me on that, but that's what I've heard. Nice headshot. Try and use all my ammo before I charge. Alright, we'll stick here for a sec. It's not about creating consumer society. Yeah. Programming Lizard, everyone in Manchester is a knob. Yeah. I know of quite a few people from Manchester actually. They seemed okay. But again, it's like, it's not a place I want to go to, if I'm really honest with you. Manchester, it doesn't interest me. It's a city. I'm not too bothered by cities. Yeah, I hate where I live too. That is true. There are many old people there. Yeah, but higher in the comments, it starts with not really. The move. Well, explain it to me. Explain it to me, because I can't scroll higher at the minute. I'm streaming Verdun. Believe it or not. I hate guns that you can't reload manually, but you have to sort of shoot all the ammo out before you reload. It's good that they've brought it into the game. It's a realistic feature and I like that, but it's just certain situations you feel like you need a full mag going into it, you know. Take my mask off here. Give it more of a vantage point. Let's get the binoculars out quickly. Let's go in the heavy mortar barrage. Reminds me of Dragon Point, Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. Not Dragon Rising, just Operation Flashpoint. You used to use your binoculars and you could call in different sort of artillery strikes, and the studio that made Armour made that game as well, which is why it's so sort of simulation like. It's probably the best war game you ever got for consoles, Operation Flashpoint. Amazing game. Pro Gaming Lizard, I've had the police called on me many times by old people. You should stop taking tyres off the cars, Lizard. He's from Manchester, so he'll get that reference, I hope. He's not a scouser, like that. Fucking hell. Have you been enlisted? Have you? Oh, have you? Have you been? Have you seen enlisted? Fucking hell! Have you been enlisted? Oh, it's funny. Have you seen enlisted? It's another great World War II PC. No, mate, I haven't. That does sound interesting if it's about the Battle of Berlin. That sounds really interesting. I completely misread that off. We said, "Have I been enlisted?" But no, mate, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I'm going to look into that. That sounds really interesting, because that is an interesting battle, isn't it? The Battle of Berlin. It's quite a chaotic one. Quite a desperate fight for the Germans, isn't it? I saw they sort of use civilians with them tank busters. I don't know what they call them, but the sort of like, not RPG weapons. Well, no, I think they are RPG style weapons, but they have got like a big. I don't know how to describe them, but you'll know what I mean. But they gave them to German civilians to shoot at tanks. Caleb, I can't wait for Mountain Blade, anyone for Xbox to come out. You know what, Caleb? I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Mountain Blade. I can't get into it. And I think what puts me off Mountain Blade is I like that it's first person and it's set in like a medieval style. But I don't like, even though you can get battles up to like 1,000 guys now in the new one, if I'm going to do that, I'd just rather play Total War, where I can have a battle of like 20,000 guys fighting. Screen went black there. Let's turn around because there's guys behind me quickly. He's got me. But yeah. Clueless, Lieutenant Hellwall, yes. Pro Gamer Lizard, I got chased by the police not long ago. Fucking hell, Lizard. Were you out during lockdown? Is that what it was? Spreading the disease? Nikita, hey, well, basically the point of communism is to create a society which will be, as much as it possible, free from outside factors that influence human decisions, and which will have access to everything. So that's the true meaning, is it? That's why you need to read into Mao. Honestly, Nikita, you'd find it really interesting if you're into all that. I still need to find that book for you, because, well, my laptop's broke, so I'm going to have to find some other way of finding it, but I will find it for you, because it's a good read. It's not biased in any way, it states the facts of how it was, what he believed, and it's all to do with what you've just said there, or what he thought in his own mind. Clues, in the US, getting chased by the police is scary as hell since the current military grade gear. Clueless, I watched a documentary called Flint Town, which was really interesting, and I thought the police officers in Flint Town were amazingly good. In fact, I think most American police seem really good. You know, I hate when people group, you know, one bad police officer, well, take one bad police officer and show that, you know, make them all bad, because it doesn't work like that. But Flint Town, the police in Flint Town had this big armoured, like, Humvee vehicle. I thought, if you saw that in the UK, it'd be like it's like a private military. It was unbelievable. It just made me fucking laugh. But yeah, it was good. Caleb, Panzerfaust, that's the one, mate. I think that's the one. I think you're right. Nice kill. I'm going to get down here and try and take them out. Where's he at? Fuck off. Yeah, I broke into a pub and got reported. Just wait till you're 18, then you can have a beer. It's not worth it. What are you fucking breaking into pubs for? He's definitely a mank. Nikita, what can help them in improving themselves? Caleb, Total War is so good, it is, mate. It's an amazing game. depends what year you're into, Caleb. If you like the Medieval 2, which is my favourite Total War game of all time. I've put so many hours into that game. And just before my laptop broke, I was doing like a Moorish Caliphate campaign. And because I never plays the Arab or the Muslim nations, I always plays the Crusader nations, so I thought I'd change it up. And it was going really well. I took over the whole of Castile and Sicily and Jerusalem and all the Holy Land. So I was doing pretty well. But I think I was about to go to war with Egypt or the something Abiud dynasty, because he was being a cunt and kept him making alliances with Jerusalem, which I wasn't very happy with on that campaign. So, clueless. Most communist countries fall because of leaders that seek glory. Each police station in the US basically is a private military because they buy their own weapons and vehicles. That's really interesting, that. Yeah, it's interesting. What's going on in Seattle at the minute, clueless? I saw they've got their own protesters, have got their own sort of hill. So how come police haven't sort of gone in and took them out? Are they worried that like people will start like shooting up or something? Or I don't mean like shooting up heroin, I mean like shooting guns. Just to make that clear. But yeah, I know. As I said, I was watching Flint Town documentary. Amazing documentary, really enjoyable, and the police in that were carrying some pretty heavy gear. The armoured Humvee just made me laugh. Again, if you saw that rolling down the streets in the UK, you'd thought the army's turned up. In fact, even the British Army probably don't have vehicles like that. Nikita, clueless, first communist. That's clueless. Caleb, all of them. Nice. Clueless, clueless. You know what the counter-terrorism for? Yeah. Well, the protests get into some murky water with Constitution, so the police have to be careful in the way they handle protesters. Yeah. It's a bit of a dodgy situation, I can imagine. Just takes the police to do one false move and that's it. The media are all over them and they're racists and this, that and the other, and it's insane, absolutely insane. It's kind of worrying though, because in the UK the guys who are protesting want to defund the police. If we defund the police anymore in the UK, we won't have a police force. It's absolutely fucking crazy. I can't believe we haven't captured this trench. This trench, every time I play on it, is almost impossible to capture. Fuck, there's a lot of guys down there. Rapid fire, rapid fire. That was a double. I think I got a double kill. That was nice. Okay, Hebo, actually, you are unique in trying to put Mao as a true communist, because most of the time people use Pol Pot Cambodia as a last argument to prove the point that communism is a genocidal idea. Well, Cambodia came after Mao, I think. I think Cambodia came just sort of after his main reign, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Cambodia is a big one. I don't know enough about Cambodia, but it's one of them genocides that always gets put under the rug, I always think. It's not good, it shouldn't do. Clues, anyway, imagine the police, but they have policemen as CTF. Well, that's how it is in the US, yeah, it makes sense. Hey, well, have you ever been arrested? No, mate, never. Never. I'm not, I can't be. If I get arrested, my future's fucked. French are shooting each other there. Nikita, Hebo, Seattle's Hill capitulated and proclaimed a go-on vote for Democrats. Caleb, Caleb, I feel sorry for them, please. Yeah, mate. Yeah, me too, Caleb. I have such a hard time. Yeah, it's a difficult job, I think. It's not No, it's unpleasant at the minute. Actually, I'd say it's unfucking pleasant. It's just so hypocritical what some people say. The left, a big motive of the left is to sort of not put everyone under one category, because that's discrimination and sort of racism. But then they go on to put all police officers under one sort of bad name because of one officer, and it's just complete hypocrisy of what they believe. It's insane. That's why they're the downfall of themselves constantly. If you want to defund the police, you're an idiot. In the UK anyway, I don't, you know, I'm not coming on US matters because it's not my issue. What happens in America is up to them, but in the UK, defunding the police is such a fucking bad idea. It's a massive drug problem in the UK at the minute. It's the last thing we need to do. Program Lizard, I don't really have to say whether I have or not, to be honest. No, mate, you can just keep quiet. You should be alright. Although breaking into a pub does that's made me laugh. Really has. Just wanted a pint of Carling, that badly. Please, unlike the military, people getting mad at everything the police do. Yeah, no, it's true, mate. Nikita, Hebo, what I know about Mao is that he was one who learned Chinese to read and write. Yeah, I think he was very big on sort of literature and stuff, because I think he was a very clever guy at one point. He came from, I can't remember if he either came from quite a poor background or a middle class background. I can't remember, it was one of the two. And as I say, he didn't look like a bad guy at first. He went very radical quickly. He went very radical, and that was his downfall. And then he made some terrible policy decisions which led sort of famine in China, which is where the 40 million figure comes in from. The 40 million that died is due to the famine, not due to sort of rural killings. So you had the 40 million due to famine, which is a very large number, but you know what, China never gives like statistics. But then you had these sort of killings where villagers were killing each other because of disputes between like sort of beliefs and stuff. Oh, I can't go that far. And that's where it's like said that 2 million people were killed by what were known as rural killings, I think. That's some accurate artillery. I'm going to have to, you know, what's that about? Caleb, yeah. Caleb, yeah, the place where I'm at got defunded, and one that was causing some commotion to get him to be funded was in prison for felony or something. Yeah, it's insane, mate. It's just the way, just some people's reasoning for certain things just doesn't quite make sense. They don't look at the bigger picture. Pro Gaming Lizard, how do you make your video thumbnails? It's just a website online. I'm not really into all the, you know, you see all these sort of fucking, what do you call them? What do you call it? The guys who sort of do all the, I forgot the word, like the photoshopping and shit, where they cut all this shit out and to make it look fancy and stuff. I don't tend to do any of that. I just download a few PNGs offline and then off the net, and go on this website and sort of put a collage together. That's all it is. It's more of a collage than anything. I always put thumbnails on because I think they look smart like that. It closed down. It sucks. Oh my god! I must watch. She died. Yeah, the clickbait shit. Caleb. Yeah, Caleb, defended. Nikita, the only thing that Mao actually brought to the left movement, as far as I know, he proved that peasants can be revolutionary ruling class. Yeah. Which they very much were in China, like, at that time anyway. got a really interesting history, China. Actually, I really want to learn more about it. I've just started watching Marco Polo, the Netflix series, which has been interesting. And apparently, it's quite realistic to how things were in China. It's only 2 seasons long. The first season was pretty good. Haven't started watching the second yet. Oh, I've started watching the second. Sorry, first episode. That's all. I hate the videos titles like, yeah, that Chills guy. That's why in my newest video I sort of took the piss out of that Chills guy. I put, when he goes number 15, says in that fucking punk voice. I edited that on one of my videos, so when I was doing the countdown for the maps I was like number 15. But yeah, clickbait's like a fucking disease. Game's been going on forever. It's just this. You can never take this line. It's pretty much impossible. Online you can, but not against AI. That's a nice kill. Creeping on my dad. Gone wrong sexual. I know. It's true, mate. It's exactly what I put. It's all them fucking. What do you call them? The ex-FIFA, like the guys who used to play FIFA, the gang of mongs who sort of do all these sort of different videos. I don't know what you call them, but just clickbait cunts. It's the funny thing is though, is people like, I don't know, like Zoella for example. I know when she was big, I think she does makeup and stuff, and I think she used to like sell. She had like her own store where she sold like jumpers and shit for like 30 quid. It's unbelievable. They must be making a killing off YouTube, some of them, through clickbait and stuff. It's not worth it. Nikita Hebel, so that's why you try to appeal to Chinese communists during our discussion, but you know that one of the more successful socialist experiments were in the USSR and Eastern Europe. And what was that then? Pro Gamer did FIFA strip challenge with my sister. I know, it's just fucking. If you click on it, you're a cunt. That's what I've just. I don't know what's worse, the people who make them thumbnails or the people that click on them. No, I don't know. It annoys me. I get annoyed by a lot on YouTube. I think YouTube is a dying platform. I don't know why I even started this channel. I found a glitch on Verdun and thought, fuck it, let's make some Verdun videos. See where it takes me. However, that is me for tonight. 2:20 in the morning. I'm quite peckish, so I'm going to get some food. Cheers for joining the stream, fellas. And I'll have another video out this week, hopefully. Fuck knows what it'll be on. It'll be on something. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Caleb, Total War Warhammer. Aye. I've never got into Warhammer, mate. I've never got into it. Nothing against it, just never played it. Aye, see you in a bit, fellas. Have a good one.